Let's give Key a little bit of advice. What are some things that Key can do to make the most of his experience? Any lessons learned from previous conferences at the IT Nation or otherwise?
IT Nation's been one of my favorite events. IT Nation Connect's been one of my favorites since back in my MSP days. So we've attended every year, I think, since 2014. I will tell you, when you have a booth as a vendor, as an MSP, my favorite times were talking to vendors outside the booth. If you're going to have a booth as a vendor, make sure you have time for someone to man the booth and someone to be other areas, sessions, bars, hallways, whatever. So if you do engage in a conversation, you can break off and the booth is still attended, because nobody wants to see an empty booth, but you can have meaningful conversations with the MSPs, because you don't get that one-on-one time anywhere else.
Right. Awesome.
I would have said pre-sleep.
Good. I'll put my MSP hat on for a second, and I would say one of the things that I've learned when I was doing conferences prior to COVID was I bring a business card that has my booking link on it. I know everybody talks QR codes, but so as an MSP, when I go to the conference and I approach a vendor that wants to either set up a demo or have a further conversation, I actually hand them my card so that they can book with me, as opposed to having this false sense of conversation with a potential vendor. Then I get into this, email drip. Like, we all tend to hand our cards out or get our badge scanned and any of that kind of stuff. From the MSP or attendee perspective, if I'd like to have a demo, I'm going to hand you my card with my booking link, so that we can have a one-on-one conversation, as opposed to just blindly getting emailed from every vendor in the space. Now, I know there's a lot of vendors and I'm two on this call. So just putting the MSP or the attendee hat on, like, if I want to attend or I want to be part of and understand your stuff more, I'm going to hand you my business card with my booking link and allow you to follow up with me.
Yeah, and I think there's some stuff in there because, having done the MSP thing, and Ray, I think I started going around 2013, 2014 as well. Whether vendor or MSP, there was always those one or two times where I forgot to get someone's contact information. And if regardless of the sessions, which they're fantastic, there's some really cool speakers, unless their name is Kyle, I wish I had got their contact info, because I had some type of conversation, or I was in a focus group with them, or I met them, right? They're a vendor, but there was a contact at that vendor I just seemed to kick something off with. Get their contact information, because there might be so much chaos that you only have 5-7 minutes to touch base with them. And the networking is probably that single point of value to where I can say in my career, I would not be here if I had not networked consistently at IT Nation. I mean, whether in the MSP or vendor space.